Okay guys, you guys wanted it, you guys will get it. The Archetypes deck types tier list part 2. I wasn't expecting this video to make so many views actually. Of course it's not that much, but for me it's a lot. And also your comments, I'm very thankful for you to all of those comments, for all of those likes. Also for all of those people who are liking and watching other videos, because I'm putting a lot of heart into those. I love Unmatched and I want to make a lot of this fancy, unconventional content, which is like, you know, those weird tier lists of different things, and I'm planning a lot of these things. But now we will focus ourselves on this tier list again. We rank all of those guys that are down below, except of course guys from Bruce Lee to Deadpool, because I don't own them yet. And when they will be available in Europe, I will make a video on them, because it will be like 8 fighters, which is awesome. We can also wait for the Stars and Stripes. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly. We can wait for this one and make the big one. So yeah, we'll be filling the tier list. This is the part 2, of course, so if you didn't watch the first one, go watch it. There will be the notification up in the video. At least I will add it. I think I will add it. And this part, I just have to tell it right from the bat, guys. It will be probably much longer. I'll try to make it not that much longer than the previous one. But those fighters are far more complex than all of those guys we discussed previously. Because all of those I would like to call the first era of Unmatched. All of those guys. And this era probably ends with the introduction of Black Widow and all of those fighters who are just much more fancy and all, have more mechanics. So from now on it will be much more difficult to rank their deck types, because you can classify them in many different ways. Like, I will give you an example, very simple in the fact. Golden Bat, I would call him control, and he's awesome control, you will see why. But also you can classify him as big hits easily, because he can just smack the opponent with +2 for ages, and it's actually very efficient. So yeah, all of those, let alone slings and arrows fighters, those are complex, and I don't know what I should even where I should even put Shakespeare, who is somewhat combo, somewhat okay. But no, let's don't spoil it, just jump to it, guys. And we'll be going through all of those, and the last one will be Pandora. Oof, that will be cool. A lot of guys, So yeah, I hope I will satisfy you all who asked for this part 2. There was like 4 people, and I love you guys, those 4 people who asked for this. I know that's not a lot, but I appreciate every single one of you. Even if you didn't write the comment, if you like this video and the previous one and all, you like the concept. Yeah, I love it, man, and I will give you much more of the cool content of Unmatched. But now, I will not be discussing the concept of this video, it's well described in the first one, so if you don't know what's going on, like I said, go to part 1, and then watch this one, if you are curious. Because you have to know what's the point is, because I can just tell it short. It's basically what's the win condition on fighter and what's his deck type, and it defines where there belongs in deck categories. And that's probably the best information I can give. Go watch the first video, you will know what's going on. But now let's jump to our first one. The first fighter in the part 2, which is who is actually Black Widow. Black Widow is probably one of the more complex fighter in the game. She is surprisingly very powerful, very sneaky good, I mean, and can deal with almost every situation, which means she's control. I don't know where though. Probably. I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair. Why? Black Widow, with her mission, has a lot of control. You can discard opponent's cards, and if you know how to use it properly with action gains, which you also have a plenty, you can also put her into something like OTK. And combo maybe not, it's too much. And if she would be combo, she would be actually like here. But yeah, OTK, she's actually fine if you know how to do this OTK. But in my opinion, the best way of playing her is this value, very harsh control play style where you go for the. You're reacting to the opponent's every card. You are looking constantly at his hand size, at his health, what he's doing, where he's placing his sidekicks, and you are countering him with certain missions. And that's very powerful. All characters who have a lot of sidekicks could probably not even exist if you are playing Widow. Could as well not exist because you will just wipe them out with one of your missions. I will put it in here, like in the previous video, the card, because I don't remember the names exactly. If you are getting aggro down, there is like one of the biggest game shifters in the game, which is Budapest Gambit. It basically recovers your hand, your whole hand, which is 5 cards, and then it gives you a discard, which is I think I don't have to describe how powerful drawing 5 cards if you have 2 cards in hand or less, and discarding 1 card from the opponent, how powerful it is. It is so busted, man. And if you're playing an aggro character, you hate this card because you rely on it that you will just destroy the opponent's hand and then his health. She will not let you do this with this mission, and that's wonderful. Maria is an absolute powerhouse. Her 4 value attacks are awesome. This is one of the best cards in the game, in my opinion. It gives you movement. It gives you a mission back, which means you can choose a paths. You can choose the path of discard, path of auto damage, path of drawing cards, path of action gains. Bro, if you know how to counter every fighter, you will just counter everyone with your mission paths. You can play fatigue with all of those discard opponent's cards, deal them auto damage with missions. This is just fantastic. This is awesome. If she would be fatigued, she would probably also be like somewhere over here, maybe even higher. Like, this is so cool. The control at its finest. I think I will place her over Medusa. She is just that good. However, this is the place where she will end probably. Because, you see, I am describing her as this deck type, this character who has answer to everything. However, he doesn't have an answer to one specific type of decks. And those ones are big hits and probably OTKs. Basically, everyone who can hit for more than 5 is countering Widow, because her blocks are actually garbage. You have only like 2 cards that are full value. Of course, you can like switch places with Maria, but you don't want to get rid of her because her cards are like your control machines. The agent of Star or whatever the name. Yeah, act director of something. This card, full value, is like so important to your game plan that it is like required for you to keep Maria alive for the whole game, unless all of those cards will just run out, because they gives you free missions. and it is crucial to win a game. But all of those big value characters, if you play her against even Alice, it's a problem because Alice can hit for more than 5, like constantly, and she will be just not able to block all of this. If you will be blocking those 6 and 7s of Alice with freeze, you will just die. You have little amount of health because it's 13. Maria is already squishy with 6 health, and your blocks are not good, so you have to be perfect with her. You have to know what you are doing, how you control the battlefield, how you control your opponent. But certain decks you are just not able to control, because against those big hits heroes, I guess you can discard their cards, but that's it. You can draw a lot of cards, they don't care, they will hit you through your blocks. You can like deal them auto damage. Guess what? They don't care because they want to smack you harder with big values. Same goes for OTK, but with OTK you actually have an answer because you can discard their cards and hope that they will discard the OTK, like, you know, the card, OTK card. But big hits are a problem, and yeah, also mid ranges. Mid ranges can also destroy her, like Bigfoot. Yeah. But overall, she is a very good control fighter. This is one of the best example of control fighter who is actually control and not relies on sidekicks, because all of those guys that we got on the top currently are good in control because they can manipulate the battlefield with the sidekicks, and you don't manipulate it. You are not doing this. You are just good at control because your missions are good at control. They are awesome in control, and your cards are also supporting those missions very well. Missions very well. Excuse me. So yeah, but I still believe Sun Wukong and Yenenga have better control game than her, and it's by miles. And also she got power crept, unfortunately, recently, because we'll see all of those fighters are now just hitting for so much that she just dies, and even if you're playing as a control god, you will just not win as her. If you're playing against those new fighters who are just hitting so much, so high, that you can be a control god, but you will not win against them. Winter Soldier is a fatigue fighter. It's basically a budget Daredevil. You have infinite deck and you are not able to be cancelled, which means your 2 value reprogrammed will always hit the opponent. If you'll block with it, if you'll attack with it, you will just always take 3 cards from this card pile and put it into your deck. And yeah, that means you have infinite deck. However, that's the only good thing you are doing. Because Winter Soldier cards are one of the most trash cards in this whole game. They are garbage, so garbage in fact that I don't know why they have designed it like half of them. Half of his deck is absolute dog shit. And let's just say cards like Marksman, Born in Barracks should just not exist because they are so bad, and Programmed to Kill is also up there. All of those cards are so garbage that if you even use them on boost value, it's not even that impactful because their boost value is like 1 or 2. So you just can't use them even offensive to run away. So, what are you actually doing? What you can do as this guy? You can go into big hits playstyle. And if you will do this, you are probably like here. Because, like I said, you are able to like take your cards from discard pile back into your deck infinitely. Infinitely. Which means you can have infinite 6s. And you have 6 6s in your deck. And those 6s You can just go to the town with them. You can just go into opponent, like shoot him with this 6 value no remorse. Go close to them, hit them with the bionic arm for 6. And then you can just take them back from the discard pile and back into your deck. Which means your Unga Bunga playstyle is actually very good. But if you're playing that competitively, I'm sorry, man, but half of this roster will just obliterate you. That's why you're a fatigue. And you are not a good one. You are just terrible. Because the thing is, if you are hitting the opponent with Daredevil, with Devil, you are hitting with 4 plus something. Probably. Or just 4. And that's fine. They can cancel it, but you can return it with River and go again. And they will not have cancels like eventually. With Winter Soldier, yeah, you cannot be cancelled, which sounds bonkers. However, what's not bonkers is that your card that gets your cards back is 2 value. Versatile. Bro, if you will just play it on offense, it's basically War's Regroup. And yeah, you can just do this mind game of, oh, I will be hitting you with 6, but actually it's my reprogram. Bro, even it's called reprogram, like regroup, reprogram, similar. Um, but yeah, the thing is, if you hit the opponent with this, yeah, it's a bait attack, and okay, but now you're probably close to them. And now the second problem with this card and this in your whole deck is coming to show up, which is your block values actually suck, and they suck so much. Like if you will block with reprogram, you probably take 3 damage, and this is not good. You don't have healing. In theory, you have infinite healing, but I don't know. I never knew anybody who could heal with Burn in Barracks. Even if you're playing Jekyll, it's better to use the bandage, because sometimes it will heal you. But Burn in Barracks, I don't know. It's a challenge for you guys. Try to win the Burning Barracks and heal. And if you can say you have infinite healing, in theory, in practice, you have 0. And all of your other blocks are the only good blocks in your deck. Good block in your deck is this complete the mission, and complete the mission is. It requires resources, and as Winter Soldier, who doesn't have card draw, that is actually good. Don't want to use resources because complete the mission requires from you to boost it with something to be higher than 3. And 3 value block, you can say it's alright, but it's not alright if your whole deck is 3 value. You have 2 cards that are value, but they're discarding you cards, random cards. And bro, you can only use it if you have I don't know, no cards in hand. Even then, bro, you discard 2 cards. Your reprogram now is not perfect like it should be, because in theory you are taking 3 cards back from your discard. But if you played Reflex Memories, this 5 value versatile, it's like you are now taking 1 card from your discard pile into your deck. Because you discarded 2 of your cards from hand. And if you played it with your empty hand, yeah, it's a good play, but now it's so RNG. Okay, I'm spending too much time with this guy. I swear. Soon I will make a video on him, why he sucks so much. But still, Invisible Man is much worse in Fatigue. Here, if you will be attacking with reprogram, you will be constantly having cards, and you will never run out of them. And then you can just run away, and just wait until your opponent die. Black Panther. Oh boy, I don't know. You see, Panther is, first of all, you're relying on your opponent. Because if you're playing against someone like Robin Hood, he has high boost values. If you're playing against someone like, Winter Soldier, you cooked because his boost values are ass. And now I do know. Because he belongs, in my opinion, to like more than one category, and you can actually see it. Because if your opponent is playing with those high, big boost values, you can easily be someone like, you can easily be even in OTK. Because Wakanda Forever will just go from a 3 value to 11 value with 2 4s from your opponent. So it's basically an OTK, and you get to do this 3 times. He can also be a fatigue fighter. Why? You are stealing opponent's cards. They will enter the fatigue like faster. Of course, you also drawing cards if you boost. However, you can manipulate the game if you know how to use Black Panther. If you know how to use him, he will just make sure that they will enter fatigue later. Control, you can be a control, but it's big hits. I mean, the Wakandas are like a big hits here, but it's not OTK if you're playing against someone who has boost values average of 2 and 3. Then you're someone like big hits. However, when he belongs, in my opinion, is mid-range. Because we just discussed that he can go into like all of those categories if he wants to. I don't believe that he can be aggro combo or full control, because but mid-range is all right, and I think Black Panther could be even here. Buffy is still more mid-rangey. She can adapt better, but Panther, if he will be playing against a person with high boost values, he can just manipulate the game in the naughty way. Because you have a lot of cards that are just 2 value and they say boost me. And also you have Wakanda Forever, you're stealing opponent's cards, and it actually does a lot. And I do know, in my opinion, you can adapt to the situation. If opponent is playing someone like Electra or Sherlock, guess what? You will be the aggressor. You will be constantly jumping on them, hitting them with something like this 4 value attack that steals card, or 3 value attack that guarantees stealing card. Your Shuri schemes will be busted into fatigue fighters and control fighters and OTK fighters. Like your card stealing potential against those 3 archetypes are like scary as hell. That's why people hate this character, and that's why I should probably put him higher. Because if he will get good RNG, he can just steal your beast form, your wishes, your forever height, your Excalibur. He can steal your reprograms. He can steal your devils. He can steal your mesmerizes. But it's just game over for some of those fighters if you steal them. Imagine if you steal two beast forms from Dracula. He might as well just stop playing the game and disconnect, because now how he would win even against you. And same goes for all those OTKs. You are just OTK counter machine, but you need good RNG for it. That's why he is hard to judge. Against combo, big hits, and aggro, I mean, you have a decent amount of blocks. You don't have to use Wakanda. I mean, your playstyle against all of those guys is just wait patiently until they will just finish their attacks, because they will be running at you full speed from the first game, for the first turn, because they expect you to take more than if you play if they will play something that is higher than 3, they will hit you for average of 1 and 2. But when you will start gathering those boosts from them, you are just starting to be actually dangerous to them, like so dangerous. And it turns into this game of, okay, you are hitting me a lot and hard, but I can draw cards whenever I want. I have infinite card draw. Basically, I can replace my cards whenever I want with my ability, with boost. And also, I'm stealing your cards, so I am having chance of like stealing some of your crucial cards. What else? Oh, we ran out of fuel. Take this free, like, take those free Wakandas that are now probably like 9 value, because aggressive characters tends to have high values to balance them. This is like crazy. Black Panther is actually, he's bad if you play him against a lot of fighters. However, against a lot of those fighters, he's just a cheat code if you will get good RNG. Because like Panther with good RNG is so menacing, so scary that he can jump 3 tiers even if he will steal good cards from the opponent. And this stealing potential with Shuri schemes and those 3 value stealing cards, this is actually crazy. It can go from okay, I just did nothing to you with my steals because I only steal 3 groups, to oh, I just steal your whole OTK, or I just steal your whole big hits cards. Good luck dealing with me now. Yeah, that's fair description. And we are like on half an hour, and we just finished 3 fighters. This will be a 4-hour long video probably. But I like it! And who I also like is Doctor Strange. It's one of my favorite fighters. Doctor Strange, what can I say? The things you can do with your deck is actually so crazy. Your fatigue potential is absurd. Your ability basically allows you to replace a card, which is, if you play a card, you can take 1 damage. Doesn't matter because you have a lot of healing with I'm Not a Doctor and Rings of Radagor. You can heal forever. With those, maybe not forever like those 2 guys, but yeah, it's enough to win a game, which is like forever in this case. And with this ability, if you will take 1 damage every turn while playing cards on defense and offense, you will be constantly putting those cards into your deck and drawing 1 card. Which means you are just not draw a card, you are just replace it. This is stupid. Because this can just turns into the playstyle where you are constantly keeping those mists, those winds of what, Tomb, like Rings of Ragadur. You can constantly like put them back into your deck, and winds will push the opponent away. What does it mean? He has to now probably run to you and boost, or maneuver 2 times, which means he draw 2 cards. Now he's 2 cards closer to fatigue, which is so good for you. Mists of what Tomb are stupid, and they should like against some fighters. It's basically like you are cheating. Because if you play mists, It's like, okay, bro, discard this one card, do nothing, and then attack me with some random bullshit. It might be a 6, but it might as well be a 2. which this 2 can be like Houdini's 2. Which is now sad, or like because you just used his OTK in the moment when he's not ready, probably. Or like some other things. Even if you will get hit with a log when you are playing this, you are taking for damage, sure, but it doesn't matter. Doctor Strange could as well be a control, and he would be here because he is countering the opponent so good, so well that it is illegal. Like Miss and Wind of Watombs are just a cheat codes, and we are just starting. Then you have something like Rings of Ragador. Sure, you have to win combat to heal. However, like I already told you, you have basically infinite number of those guys, and eventually opponent will be not blocking for 4 like all the time, which means eventually you will heal because you will be hitting them with those rings like over and over and over, and you will be healing eventually for like 1, 2, 3. And this is stupid. Because your healing is like a cheat code. Also, you have I'm not a doctor, which will heal you for free value for the most part. And then we are getting to Eye of Agamotto, and we are cooked. You can use this card in a way that is just naughty. You can play it. Let's imagine a scenario that you have like 7 cards in hand, you use one on defense because they somehow get to you. So let's say you use the Master of Camartage. Yeah, this for value. Is this the for value? I guess the one for value if you're adjacent to Wong. I guess Master of Camartage. Let's say you use this. Now you have 6 cards in hand. What you can do is you can draw a card. Now you have 7. And now we are playing the Eye of Agamotto. You're shuffling your 7 cards into the deck and drawing 5 cards and gaining an action. Which means you just put 2 cards from your head into your deck. And you are +2 on your fatigue game. And as a fatigue fighter, let me tell you that it's busted. It's like you are placing 2 cards from reprogram into your deck. But uh, with actually good play style and naughty play style and with good values. Doctor Strange is just awesome, and if you know how to play him, let me tell you, you have infinite deck. And I don't know what speaks more fatigue fighter than infinite deck. And Doctor Strange has the best infinite deck in the game. And he's so annoying that like one time I played with my girlfriend. I gave her the Chupacabra, and I was playing Doctor Strange, and she hated me after this one match. And yeah, this is if you are going for a fatigue playstyle, you like fatigue fighters. Doctor Strange is probably the best shot. Like with Daredevil is the best shot, the best one. He was designed to be a fatigue fighter, and you also can be a control fighter. You also can be a combo, but we are not talking about this bolt of Balzac situation because it's crazy. Yeah. Fatigue Fighter, Doctor Strange, yeah. She-Hulk. Oh my god, I love She-Hulk. She's control, guys. But probably like here. She-Hulk It's another example of a control fighter who is not controlling a battlefield with his sidekicks, and it still can win by good values. What you are doing as She-Hulk, you have a passive basically, which allows you to ping the opponent for 1, 2, maybe 3, but for the most part 1 or 2, whenever they are close to you. This is very good because it's already a tool. It's already a tool that is anti-aggro. What it means? Anti-aggro tools are something that makes the opponent to not be that willing to hit you, to aggro you down. You have very good anti-aggro tool with this because they are scared that they will be giving you free damage if they will be close to you. You have huge health bar, which is 20 health, and you can heal it for max of 4, which is 24 health. This is also very good. You will survive a lot of those big hits and aggro characters by just existing. And then you have actually decent tools that to deal with the aggressive characters. You got the 2 value card that allows you to draw or discard cards if you will win or something the combat, which is very good. You got a feint that is 1 on defense, but doesn't matter. It's 4 on offense. It's also very good. And if you want to, you have a movement for free basically, because leap forward is moving you 4 spaces, and it gives you action, which is always fine. You can combo it up with Omega. Yeah, with Omega, which now will be 9 value. I mean, it's a good thing. And then you have a lot of fun discards, like for example, Lady Justice is very fun. I love Lady Justice. You have Omega level threat, yeah, this 5 value that gives discard opponent cards, which is like awesome control tool. I am loving this one. If you are playing on the small map with She-Hulk, let's say maybe not the Raptor paddock, but T-Rex paddock, you can just go in and constantly be in the opponent's face, but you don't have to attack them. You can, but yeah, Omega is wonderful. It's so good. Then Lady Justice is, yeah, they're powerful, and the opponent is constantly scared of them. You have a card, the blue one, similar to Jekyll, that draws you cards of the amount of damage you took, the amount of cards you draw, which is good as a controlled fighter with huge health bar, like you're not missing anything. And you got this scheme card, which teleports you back to your starting space. It doesn't seem that powerful, but it gives you card and gives you action. And now opponent has to get close to you. And this card basically turns into like escape from the opponent, draw 2 cards, and this is so juicy. This is so wonderful. I love this one card. It's awesome. Yeah. You have a card that allows you to stack the opponent in place, so in case that he will be running away from you, like hit you and run away, you will just stack him with nerve clustering strike. So good, because you like them to be close to you. And if you will just combine this whole playstyle, those cards are simple, right? They are very basic, but you are just controlling the battlefield and controlling the game into very basic but in the very efficient way. I think I should put her in even higher, but unfortunately those guys are more controlly, while she is control, and she is very good because this basic type of control is working, but it's not the same level of control playstyle as those guys. She's just good character, but not exactly good control, because this control is so basic that I think you are just not like able to put her higher. I think you also have recursion, which is huge if in control. You want those card back, buddy. And the card is named Savage She-Hulk? I don't remember. There is this one card that the for value that lets you take one card from discard pile, two cards from a discard pile, and get them to your deck, which is in huge place in control playstyle. That's huge. You love cards like that. And yeah, she's very safe control, like actually safe, very simple and safe control. You have a lot of health, your blocks are okay, and also you have 4 value block, which deals pink damage, which is also very good. Like, this 4 value block is wonderful. It's awesome. Yeah, I love She-Hulk. She is wonderful, and in my opinion, she's one of the most fun control in the game because it's simple. It's like it's similar to Angel. Angel is very basic and very straightforward when it comes to how he wants to aggro his opponent. He just goes and smack with high value, with actually good aggro values and draw cards. She-Hulk, she's not doing some fancy things like putting traps, doing missions, like splitting damage. No, she just has a huge health bar. She can throw at you for auto damage, and her cards are just doing good things and good effective things to just control the opponent's aggro and control and all. This is so good. She's so fun because she's so basic, and this simplicity makes her so fun control. I love it. I recommend it to anyone. I think this is my personal opinion. I think Brains and Brawn is my favorite set, one of my favorite set of all time. I love Doctor Strange. I love She-Hulk. And I love Spider-Man, who is big hits. Spider-Man is big hits, who is unfortunately very weak. If you watch my channel, I made 2 videos about this guy and probably will do more but in the future. Now the Spider-Man topic is a bit... I'm talking about him too much. But yeah, you are relying on hitting the opponent with Momentous Shift and the 6 value attack that are being boosted with the high power, who is giving you +1. +1, adding +1 to 6 and 5 is again 6 and 7. Very good big hits. Yeah, your ability is like opponent is laying you value, but let me tell you, it's not like you're a control fighter now when you have this ability, because your deck is not designed for this. And you can watch my video about this. I discuss it like in details in them. And unfortunately, your best shot into the opponent is to go and hit him with high values, with those 6s, 5s, and even 4s. Because with high power, they are being boosted to 5, 6, and 7. And that's good. And that's basically your playstyle. You are just hoping that opponent will be blocking with something like 3s and 2s, may even 4s, and you will just eventually win, hitting them hard. I think it's it's in the style of Spider-Man, who is so powerful that he's just smacking the opponent so much while having fun. But yeah, he's just a big smacky hero, 3 6s and 3 momentous shifts. Then you got the Twips, the 4 value attack. You also have 3 copies. Yeah, you can go for big hits. It's not the same amount of big hits like Luke Cage or Alice, but I think he's higher than Willow, because at least his big hits are not RNG. Willow's are. His are not. Yeah, just hard hitting hero. Miss Marvel is, I believe, also a hard hitting hero. She is probably on the same level as Willow, maybe higher. You rely on all of those cards that deals damage. If you will boost them, and the card that is dealing damage, if you the amount of cards you have in hand, that many damage you deal. This is very fun. You also can hit them from afar, so we are like Willow but less random. And I think I will stop here. Unfortunately, you're also a glass cannon, which means you'll be taking a lot of damage because the highest block is 3, and some of those blocks you don't want to use on defense, like this one that turns into 6 if you are in more zone than the opponent. But yeah, I think I have to like make this quick because we are like 45 minutes right now. So Teen Spirit Fighters are not a favorite in community, so I'll just rush through them, I think. So yeah, in my opinion, big hits, but maybe I'll change it in the future. For now, the best playstyle is to just go and hope that you will smack them so high that they will just die, but that's it. You are not able to play another type of... yeah. Those two, Cloak and Dagger, are aggro. People are calling them Wars Raptors, but I think they don't have enough action gains to actually like be on the same level as Raptors. Or maybe not, they don't have the same amount, but they are not that predictable. Yeah, you are getting like one action with the dagger if you attack with, if you deal at least 2 damage, but I think it's too inconsistent to be a control. I not control, the combo fighter. In aggro deck, they are pretty good, and as we know, some of those fighters are actually having good aggros, good action gains. But yeah, I think those are just... I'm sorry, I'm not just giving those Teen Spirit Fighters more attention, more enthusiasm than all of those, but I didn't spend that much time with them as with all of those other fighters. Maybe in the future I'll place them, but for now on, unfortunately, I'm just giving those straight opinions, like nothing special, straightforward opinions. So yeah, I believe they're aggro. They're probably worse or on the same level as the Ghost Rider, because it's similar concept. Yeah, good big values, and you can attack constantly, like replace spaces with each other. If one character is in danger, the other can take a hit for them, and you have some cool combinations, some nice auto damage with it. Squirrel Girl is like Spike, but yeah, you can just put them. Basically, you have similar like win condition that is very hard to achieve. With Spike, if it was to surround the opponent and place him on the fog tokens, with Squirrel Girl, it's to make your squares actually not die and be able to use all of those effects that are sometimes so hard to achieve that I don't know if Spike is not even better. But I mean, with her, you are able at least to spawn those squirrels actually next to the opponent, and the values some are sometimes crazy, like kick butts, can just kick butts if you are on the proper map with proper playstyle. You also get some healing. You can look at the opponent's hand and discard their cards, which is good. It's basically a Drusilla scheme, but it's basically a Drusilla scheme. Yeah, because you can even discard 2, but chosen discards, of course. But it's so hard to achieve also, and opponent will just counter you. The good thing is you are able to move squirrels and summon them, which means you will be it will be more likely for you to surround the opponent with them and do absolutely naughty things to them, like we said with Spike. If opponent is on the shadow token, you are just in the god category now, and Square Girl can also go into god category if she surround you with squirrels, because those effects are naughty. But yeah, that's what I think about those guys. Maybe in the future I will for sure make some more complex analysis of them. Maybe some fun video about this set. But for now, fortunately we have to hurry up. I don't want this video to be like 3 hours long, and those other fighters that are coming, I think, deserve a description, and those 3 are not community favorite, and I also don't know that much about them. So I just give you this quick analysis of them for them to just be on the tier list. You can disagree on those, but and let me know what you think about them, because I'm curious. But for now, let's move to one of the best set of all time, which is Styles to Amaze. Annie Christmas is a big smacky, big hitting, she is good. It hitting you hard. Yeah. If Annie Christmas has less health than you, she can hit for something like 6 all the time, and this is actually busted. You have this card that is called Better Together. This 4 value versatile that heals also if you are close to your sidekick. This can go up to 6. That sounds wonderful. You have 4 copies of this bad boy. This is so good. You have the 5 value red attack, the Langapai, whatever, I don't know. It allows you to hurt yourself, which means you can be on the higher health than opponent, like when you play it. But then you immediately are able to lower this health of yours to like from, let's say from the opponent is at 9 and you're at 10. You're able to lower your health to 8 and now your ability is working. So now this value of this card is 7. And you also draw cards, which is fine for those guys. So yeah, now we are hitting them with 7 and you have 3 copies? I guess 3 copies of this. This is just bonkers cards. This is wonderful, one of the best. It's like you're playing Alice, but now it's not random. That might be biased, but she's better than Alice. Because see, if you will be smacking the opponent with 6 like all the time, and then with 7s, and then you have another card that can be boosted to 5 and all, and that's pretty consistent. It is just dangerous. Her big hitting playstyle is so dangerous that I find myself running away from her more often than running away from Alice, because I'm scared of big hitting cards. With Alice, you still have this possibility of, okay, she will smack me for 7 or 9, but now she probably has to find another big hit card. With Annie, nah, Annie has like those 4s and 5s sitting at her hand, and that's not all the cards that she can smack big values with. Charlie can hit with 6 value attacks with his I don't know the name, but this 3 value attack that puts the card from that takes the card from the bottom or from the top, and it adds the boost value. This one can also be a 6 from range. Charlie can hit you for something like 5 with long shot, something like that. The 3 value versatile, yeah. Can hit you with something like that. 5 value is still a big hit. So yeah, Annie Christmas is just big hitting machine. The only thing that is not good about her is that she's limited but by her own like passive, which means you have to be in the low health to deal big damage. But your deck supports it. Like you have 3 Mississippi Queens, which are like, okay, I have 1 health now, but you can't kill me. I played Mississippi Queen. That's so fun. And now we are just hitting them with 7, 4, 7, 6. Yeah, so cool. I'm loving this character. It's so underrated. And also, a lot of people, I think, forgot about her. She's so good. And also, she has auto damage. So if you're at 6 health, you are not safe because she has like 3 copies of this deal 2 damage to all fighters that are surrounding them. Which also means she can control sidekicks very well and smack the opponents for ages with big hits. Which some of those characters cannot do because they don't have auto damage. She has auto damage and she can clear the opponent's sidekicks and get to them and smack with 7s and 6s, which heal her also. So good. Oh, which also is good is Golden Bat. Forgive me. Golden Bat is, in my opinion, the best control in the game. And I'm waiting for fighters that will just, be better than him, but his control is stupid. It's like you're taking an aspect of She-Hulk, which is, yeah, you are not doing anything fancy, you just have high stats and basic game plan. Your deck is overpowered, your stats are overpowered, but you are not doing anything fancy. Golden Bat is taking this one aspect of her, which is I'm not doing anything fancy, I'm just having very high stats, and that's good. But he also adds something from the fatigue and from those guys, which is he is taking bait attacks from those guys, movement aspect of those guys, and he's taking the fatigue aspect or somewhat infinite aspect of the deck from those guys, which is Alpine Recursion and this 3 value Recursion Versatile. And let me tell you, Golden Bat, like I said, very high stats. 5 value locks, which you could have at least as well 5 or 7. You have 5 value attacks, which could be 7 because your ability is absolute. Like we will get to it in a second. Your versatiles are broken. You have 3 value versatiles, 4 value versatiles. Then you can take them back for your deck. Your movement is absolutely cracked. You already a 3 move fighter, but you are able to boost it with like all of those stupid cards. So we are basically a 4 move fighter, like every turn. What else? You can bypass turns if you want with your scheme, like that allows you to just warp to other side of the map, so opponent has to run to you again. It's similar case to Doctor Strange's Winds of Watumb. So we have your Winds of Watumb. What else? Your ability is one of the best anti-aggro tools in the game, and probably currently the best, because your ability is saying if you didn't maneuver this turn, haven't maneuvered this turn, your attacks are +2. So all characters, all of those guys who has to get close to the opponent to like deal damage are now being countered by this golden guy. Because he will be slapping them with 7s and 6s like any Christmas, but while having also busted blocks, busted like control over the opponent. Some of his cards are just like your opponent is not leaving his zone, so now if you play this on defense, yeah, he's not leaving the zone, you can smack them with 7 and 6 and he will die. This scheme, the Alpine Fortress, allows you to move, allows you to draw 2 cards. If you will move, it's not counting as maneuvering, so you can just warp to them for 4 spaces, draw 2 cards. You have possibility of drawing 5 value attacks, 4 value attack. And now you are getting 1 card from discard pile into your deck, so more bigger deck. And now he's hitting you for 7, and you cry because you're playing against him. And he has 18 health, so it's like She-Hulk was 20 and it was rough, but she at least was fair. She is not fair. He is not fair. He just has 18 health, and good luck going through all of this, because if you are like all of those aggro fighters, unless you are someone like Bullseye or I don't know, Raptors, you will just suffer. You'll just not get through those blocks. The things that are working against him are probably mid-range, because mid-range can be adapting to the situation, but also them are struggling. Combo probably has the best shot, because they will just do the combo on him and he will lose cards. He also has a lot of those cards that are actually garbage, like those 2 value versatiles, 2 value attacks, 1 value pink damage everywhere card. So yeah, he has some trash cards, but as I told you, you can just use them to boost, and now this is absolutely stupid, because you have to chase him, and he has like 4 spaces away, so we have to maneuver 2 times or boost, so we'll lose cards. He has great anti-aggro tool. It's basically She-Hulk's ability anti-aggro tool, but on crack. She has recursion with his schemes and 3 value versatiles that can loop, so it's I mean, I love him because you get to do a lot of control things with him, and you also have random disc. Guys, if you're playing against him, he's just so busted. He has everything about this category combined, and now you have like ultimate hero, like destroyer of worlds of control playstyle. So Golden Bat is a control maniac, and I hope that in the future there will be a control fighters that can like be better than him, but unfortunately, spoiler alert, currently there is no like better control fighter than him. Maybe Donatello is better. I don't know. I don't have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I will get them in 1 month. How like wonderful is that? Yeah. I think Donatello could be, but Golden Bat, alas, like I said, busted stats, busted recursion, busted anti-aggro tool, busted movement, busted discards, busted card draw. No, actually not, and busted health bar. Bro, if you want to play control and just be control god, you either pick Golden Bat, Wukong, Yenenga, She-Hulk, just Doctor Strange. I ironically. Yeah. But there's another monster. Yeah. Yeah. We'll get to her. Okay, so next one is the Jill Trent. And yeah, I am recording it after like some time, so that's why it's a little transition. But yeah, never mind. Jill Trent. It's another control machine, and I think when it comes to control, she might be like around here. And now, this character is so good at value, it's actually very like funny. First of all, your actual main condition, main win condition, is to win in control, which your deck is supporting very much. You got a lot of healing, these cards mind game with your gadgets and high values. I mean, okay, values when it comes to block, when it comes to attacks. You got 5s with action gains. Your sidekick Daisy let you take cards from a discard pile back into your deck, which is also in control, like we said. If you are playing someone like Golden Bat, She-Hulk, it's Black Widow. It's unbelievably crucial to. Sorry, I have to put in the plug. It's actually very crucial to get your cards back because from a discard pile, because you want to use them again in the value game. You know, 1/5 value defense, 1/5 value attack can change the game drastically for you, and that's why everything that lets you take your cards back is wonderful. Utility Belt is, in my opinion, one of the best control cards in the game. It allows you to heal, allows you to draw a card, allows you to move. You got 3 copies of it. And then you can get it back like 4 times, which is crazy, which is wonderful. And we love this because this card is, it might be a 4 value block as well, because heal 1 is basically block for 4. So that's wonderful. Drawing card as control hero is also wonderful. What else? Your gadgets are actually busted. First of all, you love to keep all of those high value attacks, because then if opponent will injure you, you can just heal it with those cards. You can hit them with 4, 5, with 4s, and you have really high chance that they will not block it for higher than 4 or 5. So you will heal, because now you are playing bigger value than them, so you are healing the damage, and that's actually busted as control hero because you have infinite healing. Maybe not infinite, but you got ton of healing. If I will be doing a deck analysis of her, I will sum it up eventually. But now I believe you can easily heal for 10 health. Yeah, probably, which is awesome. Daisy can go for big smacky hits and probably win against a lot of those lower tier fighters, which is actually very good. You want to keep her alive because her 5 value attacks / defenses are busted, and you also want her to live so she is able to play her scheme, which, you know, taking cards from a discard, which we already mentioned. Overall, and also you got the other gadget, which is the blaster, I guess. So whenever you hit the opponent with lower value than them, you are just looking at their top card and boosting your attack with boost of this card. So first of all, you are making your attack actually bigger. If you hit them for 2, they block with 4, let's say, and now their boost value is 3. So you still did 1 damage. And what's more important for control character is that you look at their top deck. And now you know if you have to like keep 1 card maybe for their turn to block, because I don't know, 5 value attack is coming your way. And if you know it, you got a knowledge of it, you can just adapt and keep 1 defense that you would use on offense otherwise. So this is basically overpowered knowledge for a control character, and she is like control queen, one of them. But still, Golden Bat is definitely better than her, despite her being more controlly than him. And Wukong and Yenenga are just breaking the game with their sidekick playstyle, with their cards. They don't care about looking at opponent's hand. They don't care about mind games. I mean, Wukong cares about mind games, but it's not this type of mind games like with Jill and her gadgets. But yeah, in my opinion, she is when it comes to control, this is one of the best choice if you like this type of decks in other games. Control in Unmatched, probably the best controls are Trent, Widow, Golden, and She-Hulk. In my opinion, those four are just straight up control decks, while those are relying on sidekicks, so it's a bit iffy, but because you can, adapt. But yeah, never mind. Jill, awesome control, perfect. Tesla. Oh my god, you guys will not understand, but I have to. And now, as Tesla is awesome. It's like the resource management hero. As you may say, oh, he's very controlling, he's very mid-rangey even. You can adapt. You can play slowly with him, with your X-rays, with your blue value free that draws you cards. You can play with your ignore value card, which is busted, or your storm that deals pink damage. However, you will quickly realize that you are not having enough health to survive if you want to constantly block everything from your opponent like those guys. You will quickly realize it's not the best way of playing him. Then you will look at his attacks, his all action gains, and be like, okay, I can cook something with this. And you definitely can. And that's why he's a combo, and he's a broken one. Because 7 Hertz is if you know when to play it, it will just blow the opponent to the ground. And he's so high in this tier because, look, if you want, you can even go for something OTK like. You can use 2 7 Hertz, which means you have 2 actions and you hit them with force. You can reload your coils, and now you got options. You are in God category. You can hit them with 7. You can hit them with 3 damage. I'm not hitting your defense. You can hit them with giga pink damage, which will blow their whole board and deal them damage. You can hit them with something like this 5 value card that is reloading your coils. Bro, I mean, if you will be playing this way, which is go in, shoot them with action gain, then hit them again with something, they will lose card drastically. You also have the X-rays, so they will lose. You have high chance of discarding some of their good defenses, and like in my opinion, 7 Hertz X-rays are just busted. I love this card. I love X-ray. And in my opinion, he's forced to playing this action game playstyle because he's too glass cannony. Yeah, you got healing, you got your X-rays, you got this 5 value card can heal you for 2. However, rest of your blocks are mostly free, and you are 13 or 14. It doesn't matter. Health fighter. So you will die surprisingly quickly if someone with big hits will rush you, or someone that is aggro will rush you, because you also don't have like ton of defenses. So your best shot as Tesla is to wait with your blue card to draw enough cards by using your coils and maybe healing even, and then finding some fine cool combo, which includes 7 Hertz, then maybe those 7 value attacks. Maybe you could even use those cards that I said that ignores values, which is like 3 damage, so that's awesome. And yeah, at this point, if you already have 7 hertz, you can start to set up something crazy. And that's why he is a combo. He also, I would also say he belongs in combo, because if you are playing Tesla, you will probably play more aggressive than defensive. And yeah, those guys rely on action gain, but Tesla's action gain are much more deadly, because his cards with action gains are 7 hertz are very high. So 4 value attack with action gain is actually busted. And your schemes are also giving you action gains, but they are mostly like reloads for your coils, so you might not count them. But yeah, Tesla in my eyes is action gain combo fighter. If not, I would put him in something like OTK, but he wouldn't be that high, probably like here, maybe here. And in aggro, he's actually very good if you would play him aggressively. Probably like here, maybe here. He's surprisingly good when you are going for aggressive playstyle. I can see him. The thing is, I can see him playing as this control fighter, because you don't have tools. Yeah, you can discard their cards, draw cards, sometimes heal, but that's it. And you don't have enough blocks to survive. So yeah, that's why you should probably go for some crazy combo with him. And your opponent might not survive this. Let me tell you that. If you know when to time it, he will just not survive it. So yeah, it's pretty comboy. So yeah. But if you like have other like opinion of it, like let me know in the comments. I am curious, because Tesla is, in my opinion, he might as well also be big hits, because 7 value attacks are crazy and 5 value attacks. But yeah, let me know. I see him as a combo, because 7 hertz combination with other cards is just crazy. Tomoe is mid range. In past, I believed she is something like aggro, but more and more I played her and tried different like playstyles. I realize, god damn, she's tanky. She's tanky as hell. Her offense is absolutely crazy. Her defense is absolutely crazy. Her ability is very like good. It's I would say this ability is best used offensively, because opponent will be coming to you, hitting you. He will run out of cards and he will be like, fuck, I have to run away, I don't have cards. And she will be hitting me in her zone, because she's ranged, and she also has very strong effects if I'm close to her. So it's better for me to run away, and then he's taking 1 damage. And this situation is surprisingly common if you're playing Tomoe, because this girl can just stand in your face and hit you constantly and regenerate her head by just attacking you, and that's not a good thing. Because now she doesn't really have those moments where she gets to breathe. Some of those aggro heroes needs to sometimes like go away and breathe a little. Like for example, Ghost Rider, Robin Hood. Maybe not Robin Hood, but yeah. You may say there are some openers where you have to just go away and take a break for a little. Tomoe doesn't get to do that, because she got a lot of those cards like piercing shots and demon. I don't know, this card with the demon that allows her to draw cards, and yeah. Also, you're a 16 health fighter, or even more, because Lord Kiso can heal you, and you can even adapt. If you're playing control at the moment, you are using Kiso to heal. And I think you have 3 copies of it, but I don't remember. And so you can heal for 2. Or if you are playing offensively at that certain time, because the opponent's character is like playing control or TK or whatever, so you're aggroing them down, you can give yourself an action gain with movement. Yeah, you see? You already have two paths: path of control, so healing and movement, and path of offense, which is action gain and movement. This card alone is awesome. 7 value attack, which is like 7. And your opponent is like, holy what now? I guess if I don't have 4 value defense, I'm kinda screwed, because taking 4 damage from Tomoe is so much impactful that this is crazy. Your 3 value change into 5 if opponent is hero is absolute menace. You can use it on offense, you can use it on defense. Very good card overall. Same goes for your skirmishes. Like, your skirmishes, in my opinion, are very good defensively and offensively. Because they are because they can work with your ability. If somebody is hitting you with like 3 and you defend with your skirmish, you will move them, and you can move them out of your zone, and they will take 1 damage. Crazy. Which your skirmish is basically move the opponent 2 spaces, deal them damage. So it's actually good skirmish, right? Also, if you're playing Tomoe, if you know how to play Tomoe, you will always place yourself in the, in the edge of the zone, not like in the total edge, but you will always leave 1 space. So you can just juggle the opponent around between spaces and deal them damage, because a lot of your cards are just, okay, deal 2 damage and then move your opposing fighter 3 spaces. So you're doing 1, 2, 3. You're moving them 1, 2, 3. Then you dealt 2 damage to them. Because of her ability. So yeah, very good offense, very good defense. A lot of cards are just... I mean, she's great because a lot of her cards are giving her choices if you want to play them offensively or defensively. And a lot of her cards are actually badass and are very cool. She is like Yenenga, but more with bigger offense possibilities. So yeah, Tomoe is actually crazy. I love her. Her defense is awesome. Her offense is awesome. The thing is, you have to know how to balance it, because if you don't know, you will just get like smoked to the ground. 1 card used like wrong in a certain time is just a death sentence on her. It's not like we are playing Bigfoot on Moon Knight, and you are constantly like probably safe, even if you screw up your offensive turn with defensive turn as mid-range character. But with Tomoe, if you will just not notice that your opponent is a bit vulnerable at the moment, and you will exploit it by going next to him and hit them with like 2 attacks, pressuring him. If you will not notice this moment, you lose like probably the game. Unfortunately, she is very difficult compared to all of those other fighters in this tier. She's actually very difficult, probably the most difficult out of all of them. I think if she should be higher than Little Red, but I don't know, because of the fact that you have to perfectly know where to strike and when to defend. She's a little like challenging to play. So yeah, but mid-range at its best, Tomoe is awesome. Great defense, great offense, great ability supporting both playstyles, and perfect deck. Tomoe is just nice. Oda is aggro. Yeah. Oda is aggro. He is a bit like Raptors with his honor guards, that you want to surround the opponent as quickly as possible and then just bank them, exploiting the fact that you have huge health bars, so you might actually kill them in the early game. Because the thing is, Oda, or more like Oda's, royal guards are just... they are powerful as heck. They are powerful as heck. One of the best offensive cards in the game. But the problem is, they don't have enough defenses and enough health to survive. So the only moment when you like have the opener as Oda is at the early game. You have to like get close to the opponent first turn. It's best for you to start because like go first as Oda. In my opinion, this is very important. A lot of people are not telling about this because they don't play Oda because they are like, oh, he is weak, so I'm not playing him. But I play all of fighters, and Oda going first as him is actually huge advantage, like gigantic advantage. You are going close to the opponent first turn, boosting, placing Oda close also, but you know that close that you allow to pin the opponent to the wall with your guards. And so you are giving them the +1 do values boost. And then you are hitting the opponent with guard with some high value attacks of them. Maybe this 4 value attack, so it changes into 5. Maybe with momentous shift, which is now 6. Maybe with this one card that changes into 5, but so it's also 6. And you are just going as as quickly as you can, because if you will not defeat your opponent or lower his health to like 5 health in your first 2-3 turns, you lose the game. Unfortunately, Oda is like very punishing because his mid game. In your mid game, your opponent will be already like stacked up with cards, and he will probably kill one of your guards because they will be not blocking for that high, because your deck is like in 90% offensive. And I'm not counting Oda cards because no one will be hitting Oda in the early game. Because he's like not doing anything and his guards are only source of damage, in my opinion. Not in my opinion, it's like it's a fact, bro. So yeah, opponent will be focusing on your guards and he will just kill them. And now your offense is dead and you are in the trash category now. So and now you lose. And that's why Oda, in my opinion, is so like relying on aggro in the early game to kill the opponent as quick as possible, that I had to put him here. And that's why he's not higher, because if he would be as threatening in the middle, in the like mid game, he would be already like here. But your only opener is the early game, and if you will not kill the opponent in your early game with your cards, you lose the game, unfortunately. But this playstyle is very cool. I am loving it, and always when I am rolling or picking Oda into the tournament because I think it's fun, I always go in the first turn close to the opponent, or in the second turn, doesn't matter. I was going close to their opponent and hitting them with something high, and just not let them escape, because I will be smacking them again as much as I can until until my guards are dead. I'll be smacking the opponent like constantly and hope that he will die. And that's probably the best strategy on him, because when you will split all of your guards, and you might like keep them close to Oda, but let me tell you, the possibility of keeping them alive is very low, unfortunately, against like all type of fighters. So yeah, very good offense in the early game, but a trash offense in the middle to late game. Shakespeare. Oh, Shakespeare. It's 50-50. You might be on OTK, but you also might be a combo. Because if you are playing Shakespeare, you're relying on the horse, and you're playing your cards in certain combinations, right? We already know this. But there are only sub effects that are good on him. And those good effects are horse, which gives you 2 action gain, skulls, which deals auto damage, and these two defensive cards, one of 2 value, one which heals you and draw your cards, and the second one which deals out 3 auto damage. Or 2 auto damage. So yeah. But in my opinion, the best way of playing him is to go for the horse playstyle. And if you will go for the horse playstyle, you are the best combo in the game. Because horses are giving you 2 actions. Some of those characters only have 3 action gains, and they are busted with it. But if you know how to use horses, you can just go horse combo, and then you are automatically hitting them with something like force, and or maybe something that has 4 like letters or whatever in line, and then you're combining it with another horse, so you get another 2 action gains. You are going again, and opponent is most likely dead. That's like a perfect scenario. However, it's very rare, but yeah. So you have 3 horses, which is 6 action gains. You can do some crazy things with it. You don't need to combine 2 horses together. This is the advantage of him over all of those other combo characters. You don't have to like combo 2 cards to get 2 action gains, which is like crucial for those characters. He doesn't need to do that. He can just play 1 horse and then hit the opponent with 2 force, and this is already deadly enough that you will probably lower their hand size and their health to very like you will lower their health like enough. If you will go for this big horse playstyle, you might say he's TK, but in my opinion, playing 2 horses in the row is requiring from you to have so many cards that it's you will just basically go through your whole deck. And now, guys, I don't know actually. He might be a OTK because you might wait for those 2 horses and then go in, hit them. But the problem is, I don't know, the opponent might just go away. There are a lot of things that can just go wrong if you are going for this playstyle, unfortunately. But if you go with the action game playstyle, you are having 3 like opportunities to lower their health so much that you will just kill them because they will not recover. And this whole action game playstyle is very tempting at this point because you are doing one big combo horse combo play in the 1 turn. They will just block. Maybe eventually they will be not able to block, so we're doing them damage. And then they will be having like 3 cards in hand and low enough health, so they will be recovering the next turns. Then you are just waiting, doing some basic Shakespeare things, sometimes attacking them with actors, sometimes with Shakespeare, and then you are going for next horse combo turn, and you are doing this again, and they will probably again lose a lot of health, lose a lot of cards. If you are going for the OTK, the problem is not only you need 2 horses, you need 2 or 3 horses even. You also need the 4 value attacks, and it's required from your opponent to make mistake. Because if they will see that you have 4 value, like letters, in your discard, like in your line, they will just not attack you, not get close to you. They will hit you once, they will look and be like, oh, the horse will be coming or something. And, I mean, they are able to counter it so well that they will probably attack you again if they see 4 in your like discard pile, and or they might just run away. So the OTK, and you have like this head full of cards. So maneuvering to them is now very like unpleasant and all. I think the combo playstyle is just the best. That's why That's why I'm putting him here. In my opinion, he's also the best combo playstyle. And yeah, that's Shakespeare for you. I might change my mind in the future, but now I believe he's the best combo. He just relies on those horses, and the fact that he has 2 action gains on 1 card is just busted enough, so that's why he's here. Hamlet is a big hits hero, and he's the worst in the game. I will be not going through all of those things like you are injuring yourself when you know not to be, you are drawing 2 cards when you are in the B form. I will not go through all of this, I'll just get straight to the point. You rely on smacking high with your not to be turns, and it's not enough. The highest value hit you are able to do is 8, which is impressive, but you can only do this once a game. You can also deal them, like, you can also bump up your values to 7, because you play this 2 value boost and plus 2 with your not to be. And then you boost it with 3, so it's 7. You can do this 2 times. But that's it. The rest of your deck is surprisingly 50-50. Some of those cards are stupidly like weak, and some of them are stupidly busted. The 3 value versatile that allows you to heal is broken if you play it with not to be. But the problem is you don't have like enough defenses, so sometimes you are forced to play it on defense, and now you lose a lot of damage. What else? Those 2 value reds that go through versatile cards. You can bump up them to 4, and against some fighters they are very good, because those fighters have like only versatiles. Let's say She-Hulk, yeah, she like has like only justice and discard the defense rest that are blue. Seedbud is a great example, because he only has versatiles on defense, so you can just spack him forever. Then this card is busted, because 4 value go through block is very good. And this is probably the best card in your deck. However, other cards are like weak, because this deck is his deck is balanced around his ability, and if you go for big smacky turn, you're probably you have probably full hand, you have to maneuver to your opponent, you have to injure yourself, so there's a lot of conditions that you need to like get to get this awesome outcome. And this outcome is not enough. Some of those fighters can just slap 6s and 7s by existing, and you have to like sweat your ass to bump your values to 7s and 5s and damage yourself. Discard cards probably, because your not to be turns are punishing you so much. And you only rely on big values. You can't play any other playstyle, because you can't play control, can't play fatigue, can't play OTK, nothing. You can't play anything else that big hits. He's just so weak, and his big hits are not that impressive. Nah, guys, we are leaving him. Hamlet might be fun, but he is just big hits with extra steps. And some of those guys, even Spiderman, is smacking the opponent with 7s and 6s like that. And Luke Cage same. He's not doing anything. He just has high values, and you have to sweat to even get to 7 and 5. Nah, Hamlet is just he is fun, but he's not as good when it comes to big hits. But yeah, if you will smack the opponent with big hits, Hamlet is actually satisfying. And probably the most satisfying thing is this, free value versatile that you can bump up to 5 and now hit your opponent and you are healing yourself for the amount of damage you dealt. This is, so good. But this is probably one of the best things on him, and that's one of maybe 3 things that are good on him. I mean, satisfying on him. Titania is the best mid-range. And a lot of you are probably now like, what? How is she the best? She is like so random with your glamours, with her glamours, with all of those things. It's so difficult. Her values are not that good. And I got to tell you, the only thing I'll tell you is, if you know how to manage your glamours, if you know against what character you are playing, let's just go through it. If you are going against offensive character, you can play control. You can block for ages and punish them in the certain times. You don't need to use all of those glamours. That gives you like actions, that gives you cards, that gives you a movement. Maybe not movement, but you know, you don't need those offensive glamours. You can just stay with the glamour that if you maneuver, you move your opponent away. This is like defensive enough, or glamour that allows you to like change places, switch places with Oberon, because opponent will be hitting them in the early game so much. Fatigue, bro, one of your glamour is like you are not taking fatigue damage and auto damage. If you know how to use it properly, you will just kill the opponent by just not dying in the end game. OTK, glamour of I'm playing scheme and then action gain after it. Let's go through it. Like Oberon can discard 2 of their cards from their hand, then you are hitting them with 2 auto damage, then you are playing this one scheme that moves the opponent and draw you 2 cards. So now you have probably 2 5s in hand. And you already dealt 4 damage to them. Yeah, Oberon can hit them now with 2 5s, and they will probably dead because you discarded 2 of their defenses. So that's pretty good. Yeah. Big hits, yeah. If you want, Oberon and you, if you'll combine all together, you have probably like 8 5s. 3 for Oberon, 3 from your 3 value change into 5 value. And then there is a Queen of Fairies which can go up to 5 very easily. Big hits, probably. Combo, it's similar to this OTK that I just described. You have basically action gains whenever you play a scheme. And you can just play this yellow scheme that allows you to get opponent close to you. And then smack them and ping them with your schemes. And aggro, the same. You have a lot of 5s. If you can like keep this one glamour that draws you cards every turn, and now you are just a T-Rex. I mean, she can do anything. Like, you can do everything with her. This is crazy. The only condition is that she's so difficult to play. Probably. Yeah, I can like say she is probably like second on first most difficult character in the game currently. Because you have to know where you can go for OTK. You have to know where you can go for big hits, where you can go for aggro, when you have to switch to control. You have to exactly like know where to switch into fatigue. And you have to know exactly where you can go for OTK if you feel like. You are just a mid-range by definition. She is awesome. Like, this is one of the most satisfying character in the game when it comes to playing against every hero. You can go against anybody. Yeah, and if you are skilled enough, you will probably kill everyone on this list. This is crazy. However, you have to be so like experienced with her that it's just, yeah, but it's mid-range at its finest. Yeah, the best mid-range in the game. The glamours are giving you the options and counters to everybody. And that's what you are looking for if you are playing mid-range. You're looking for, counters to every opponent's like play style. And you have it. And you can cycle through them. Pretty good. Pretty awesome. Wayward Sisters are oh oh. At the time I want to say they are also mid-range. But I feel like because they can do anything with their spells. But the most common playstyle, the most successful in my opinion, is combo. And I'm probably butchering them because but why by saying that? Because they like options. They can adapt also to every fighter. However, I don't think it's as reliable as if you're playing Titania. If you're playing Titania and know how to counter and what the opponent will be doing, you can just mid-range and adapt to every situation, every character. With them, the problem is symbols are not as consistent as glamours. Because with glamours you can just stay on one glamour if you're playing against aggressive fighter and be fine because you know what glamour you'll be needing in this encounter. And while playing sisters, your symbols can just be very unpleasant, very like random. You can just get, I don't know, maybe only snakes and maybe only bats, and now you don't know what to do. And it turns out that the best playstyle as them is to just throw everything in your like cauldron. I don't know. Throw everything into your spells, and then cast action gain whenever you are able to. Because if you will be having too much cards, you will like leave so much cards in your like spell counter, then you are just wasting cards. And combining action gain is the most efficient one out of all of those. And that's why I think it's the best. You're basically getting close to the opponent and you are hitting them with, let's say, the stars. The stars card, versatile 0, is busted. You are hitting them with it. You probably did some damage. And now you are combining yourself an action. Or you can play even this one card that gives you 3 spells, which is also very good. And you are going for this action gain, and you're hitting them again with your, let's say, 4 value attack or 3 value attack. You know which ones. I will put them on the screen. You're hitting them with those, and this is very good offensively. And if you combine it with action gain, it's actually busted. And now, the next turn, you are probably able to do this again. Because if you know how to manage your ingredients, you will just get action gain. And that's pretty, that's pretty good playstyle. The problem is, your combo is good depending on how good you are on sisters. Because if you don't know how to chain up those cards to the best effect, you will just don't do anything to them. Or maybe not do anything, but you will just not deal enough damage to them for it to count. And that's a problem while playing them. But yeah, People may say that there's something like mid-range or control. I can see them actually as control, but yeah, as control because they can heal, they can ping, and they can action gain, they can move, and that's true. However, I just feel that this playstyle is the most efficient one because the sisters will just die against some fighters too quickly, and yeah. But I can see the argument for them to be control. I actually can see it. I just put them in combo because that's my like way of playing them. So yeah, I will leave them here like for now. But as I said, it's difficult because it's as difficult as ranking Shakespeare because those fighters are very versatile. You can play them like this. You can play them like this. Hell, maybe in the like 2 weeks I will be playing them and I will go for control playstyle. It's, but still they're not like mid range. But they might be actually. I don't know. We'll just leave them here, guys. Maybe I will just change it later, but nah, now I'll just leave them in combo because going for this combo playstyle is the like the best in my opinion, the most efficient one. Geralt of Rivia is the big smacky character. What can I tell you? Rent, and you are boosting it with other free value attack like Igni of the or the Dandelion free value card. And now you are smacking them with 6. Then you are hitting them with action gain swords or with your damn you ugly. And yeah, damage is being counted. I feel like big hits on Geralt is the best way of dealing with the opponent because that's your only like damage source. You also have some cards that deal them damage by just existing, like Igni. You have cards that Igni or Repo and Repost also. You have cards that like allows you to stack them in place, like your end the turn armor or the I don't Eredin. This one card that stack them in place, so you can go for big smacks against them next turn. And we are just doing this. Rend spam is just very efficient, very good. And it makes you similar to Luke Cage because and also you have this 4 value card that gives you effect depending on what opponent is playing. That it can also be very effective on the big hits playstyle. Geralt is like Luke Cage, but with not extra armor. Geralt just has good defenses. He doesn't need extra armor. He just smacks so high, and that's Geralt for you. Just big hits and yeah, draw cards, gain an action, smack high with rent. GG's. And then there is this guy. Oh boy. Oh boy, I am considering taking a break, probably. Okay, now the Eredin after a break. This guy is incredible. I would say, no matter which form you are as this guy, you are a control monster. Yep, that's fair place. First of all, you are a nightmare to deal with for like aggro characters. Because in the first phase you got your 4 knights, and those knights will protect you basically like Medusa, like Maldun, like Yenenga, like Wukong. All of their sidekicks, I mean. And then you can revive them 3 times, which is stupid because you have 7 of those guys now, and that's a problem because if you calculate it, it's basically 7 attacks wasted not hitting a hero. And riders also have very busted defenses, which means they will be protecting the Eredin for ages, and that's not fun. And it will come to a situation when eventually, if you are playing, I don't know, basically all characters except control ones and all of those fatigue or decay, it will come to the point that destroying his knights is like mandatory to get to him. So that's the first stupid thing. You need to kill his knights so you can delete his control. But then it's a bit of stupid because when he will transform into enraged Eredin, he is getting +1 to all of his attacks, +1 to all of his defenses, as +1 to movement. And I will translate it to maybe another way. You are basically becoming Golden Bat at this point. So you are jumping from one control tool, which is using your sidekicks to your best advantage, to basically a guy who opponent is scared to attack because he will basically deal you no damage and you will deal him huge damage. And this is stupid like reaction. Let's think about what is a counter. A counter is to, I guess, rush him with action gains or control him to death. But you know, it's only two things, and we are only talking now about ability. Those only are two things that are making him a control monster, and we are not even getting started. When he has +1 to everything, it's like you are not dealing him damage and he is dealing you huge damage. So it's like Golden Bat. You don't want to get close to him because his anti-aggro tool is huge. Eredin is basically the same, because you may say, oh, that's only +1, not +2. It doesn't matter, bro, because his effects are just broken and his +1 is basically like more deadly. Because he can slap you with 8s, with 6s, not with 6s, with 5s, and so on. And yeah, you are basically becoming this enraged monster who never dies. Also, a lot of your effects are now broken as hell. Because if you are enraged, some of those effects are stupid, like draw 2 cards. Like, okay, we'll take some damage, but man, it doesn't matter. Sorry for the messenger. Yeah. It doesn't matter because he will draw 2 cards and now he can aggro you down with some discards and all. And then he has this one scheme. Oh my god, the scheme that ignores auto damage. Not fatigue damage, auto damage. But ignoring auto damage is like I think of making a tier list where I will be discussing which characters are getting shut down because of this Eredin scheme. This one scheme basically destroys, like, guys, look, even in A tier, who are you countering? You are countering Jill, you are countering Widow, you are countering Medusa, you are countering Maldon, you are countering She-Hulk, you are countering... what? All of auto damage from those guys, which is stupid. Like, why? You are countering a lot of things with this one scheme alone. Half of mid-ranges are not working now. Like, whoa, what the fuck? This scheme is stupid. This is one of the best control tools in the game, one of the best cards in the game, and I don't know, this card alone is winning you the matches sometimes, and you have 2 of them. Like, this is like your ultimate form where no one can touch you even with auto damage. Now you have +1 to everything, and auto damage is not dealing you anything. So that's powerful. That's control monster there. And like, let's see, you have 4 of those guys at the beginning, and sometimes if you see that your opponent is, I may say he's a OTK character, you can use all of those fancy effects that say if you defeat one of your rider, like for example ignore opponent's defense. Wow, now you are dealing them 2 auto damage, just like that. Another case, there is this free value attack that you can play from range. Let's like guess what? If you will defeat a rider, get this card back to your hand. So basically you have 7 of those frees, and then you can use them on Eredin and play them from ranged 4/4. That's busted. So even if you want to go to more aggressive, like you're like, I don't give a shit about your control, about your like good blocks and everything. I will just destroy my riders and go unga bunga on you. And all of those fatigue OTK now are in danger, and all of those control guys. And you are still a control hero because your cards are absolutely stupid. Even if you go full aggro, and you still finding all of those cool effects to counter your opponent. While playing a control hero, it's not like you have disadvantage of, oh, I have like small blocks or not a lot of blocks. Actually, he doesn't have a lot of blocks, but it doesn't matter because your +1 is blocking everything. So yeah, the Eredin is just OP control, and if I would say myself, if you want to play control, like you love this type of playstyle, Eredin is probably a heaven for you because he is playing the control in. He's combining the control of 2 different ways. He's combining the control of sidekick control fighters, and then the control of single or one sidekick fighters in the second phase, control fighters. So you're combining those 2 playstyles, which turns out that which eventually gives this hybrid of control god who no one wants to go against because it's like stupid. And I think he's probably higher than Wukong. Yeah, probably like here. Even maybe higher than Yenenga. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's my list. And I played Eredin like too much to know that he is just a bastard guy when it comes to control. He's just so OP. Ciri. And now, when I was playing Ciri, I was thinking to myself, yeah, I guess I can play a bit of mid-range, a bit of control. And eventually I was like, she's probably control, but nah, I think she's mid-range. And this mid-range is probably like here. Ciri's effects in the early game are very weak. All of your cards are very weak in the early game, but later you are somewhat stupid. And she's in the mid-range because when you will just finish the early game, you are basically you can do everything against anybody. You have very good effects, you have some auto damage, you have some card recursion, you have some card draw, you have random discards on your versatile. This one card here, for value versatile, that discards random opponent's card, is in my opinion one of the best cards in the game. I know it's stupid because it's very basic, and Golden Bat even has something like that and Eredin, which is very like lore accurate. But I think putting random discard on versatile card is kind of nuts, and that's why I believe so. She also got some healing. If she wants to go for aggressive playstyle because the opponent is like rebuilding his hand or doing some other things, preparing some other things, she can slap this card, the scheme with the horse that heals you and draws you cards after every interaction with the opponent, which is very good because you're constantly refilling your hand while pressuring the opponent. Even at the low, you can even go them next to them, hit them, even with 2 cards in hand, and then going again, defending, drawing card. You are basically very good aggro character at this point. And if you want to go for defensive playstyle, she is also very good, because she got a lot of those free value attacks that versatiles that deals opponent auto damage. She got some of those, like I said, auto random discards. Then she can blow the opponent up and everybody with her scheme at 9 source that deals 3 damage to everybody, so that's cool. This 3 auto damage is broken. And if you play both of them, it's like 6 damage, so that's powerful finisher. Then you got your 7 value attacks, which you also can play as a 4 value attacks, so yeah, very good, very versatile. The only problem, your sidekick, the horse, unicorn, his red card is very powerful. Like, you can clear up sidekicks, maybe not sidekicks, but one sidekick at a time, and if horse is defeated, and he will be probably very soon, you can still use this card as boost, because it has like 4 boost value, which is very powerful, like very strong. So Ciri can also use it, so very good. You got blinks. Blinks are very good versatile blocks. Parries are, yeah, it's basically a Golden Bat cancel and Jill's cancel. So yeah, it's very good. You have 3 copies of this. And yeah, like I said, you have a little of everything. The only problem is you have to, in the early game, you have to build yourself in the proper direction. And if you do, then no matter who you're going against, you can figure it out what cards you want to keep and what cards you like to sacrifice to defeat the opponent. Because the thing is, very quick example, if you are playing against Luke Cage as Ciri, and let's say you already has 3 sources in the discard, you would like to sacrifice all of those cards that gives you, let's say, higher values and all, for all of those cards that deals auto damage, like this 3 value versatile or those yellow free value auto damage schemes. You would like to keep those and sacrifice all other cards, because you know that Luke Cage is very susceptible to auto damage. So we are doing this. And another example, you are playing against maybe Wukong. Let's say you also have 3 of those, and now auto damage is not that, it's still powerful, but you may as well control him to death or try to aggro him, and then you are saving all of those cards. You are cleaning his clones with horse, pin him to wall, and then you can just smack him with big values and discards. This is and then recycle your cards, because with Wukong you will be playing probably this long game, so you can adapt to the scenario. And hitting him with 7s is somewhat good. So yeah, and 7 sorcerer cannot be cancelled, so that's very significant boost to your control / aggro playstyle. And yeah, I think she's mid-range, because she is very easily adaptable against everybody, but she gets to get out of her early game. Leshen is again a control fighter, probably here. At the beginning I was thinking oh, he's basically a big hit character, but now while playing Leshen, You're using your wolves to control the battlefield, control yourself, defend yourself, and your +3 becomes because becomes something like Golden Bat +2, Eredin +1 to all stats, and She-Hulk's throws. Because everyone would be scared of entering your zone, because getting smacked with 4 and then with 7 is not fun. It's very not fun. And they will probably die, lose a lot of health. So you can control the battlefield in a very naughty way. And you will figure out that surrender opponent with Leshen is not actually that difficult, because opponent will be making mistakes like much more often when he will be at the pressure of your +3. Like, for example, he's hitting you with something that gives him movement after combat and he's backing off, but yeah, alright, you have a lot of cards that allows you to jump close to him, or wolves have this 1 value attack that allows them to move the opponent by some spaces so they can put you in the Leshen zone and then stack you. If you are stuck between wolves and Leshen, you might just as well disconnect, because now you are probably dead. And also Leshen is very good at control because he has infinite health. His scheme is absolute like stupid idea. You can just slap it and stay in your zone with wolves with 5 health, and you will probably heal this health in very quickly. His scheme is absolutely busted, and if you are not playing a character that is very focused on aggro, if you are playing a character that is very focused on aggro, you are dead, because you will be constantly in his zone and he will just destroy you while healing himself. How you are even able to defeat him? He can summon his wolves more often than all of those other fighters can summon their guys, maybe except Eredin or Wukong. But summoning your wolves is so easy. Then, if you want, you can even play a little like Fatigue, because you have a card that allows you to change into Invisible Man and vanish from the board. And opponent has to draw cards now. So that's a bit of naughty like play. Leshen with his healing feels like cheating, and disappearing is also feels like cheating, and his +3 if opponent is stuck is basically a cheating. So he's great at controlling his part of the map. Like if you are playing on Venice, let's say, you can just stack yourself in this left side of the Venice, and if opponent will enter this part of Venice, he will be getting destroyed. And God bless, he's not getting stuck in this little like street, like in the upper side of the map, because he is then dead. Yeah, Leshen is very good control, and he has like 3 cheat codes, like Eredin. He has basically 1 cheat code, but Leshen has 3 cheat codes. They are a bit little minor. His disadvantage is that he doesn't has a lot of blocks. So if you will get close to him, he might as well not have defenses, and he is getting smacked all over the place, and that's not fun. But if you will get close to Leshen, you are a psycho, probably. And yeah, approaching this guy is a challenge on its own, and like all of those, it's challenging to get close to them. But getting close to Leshen is just... it's like you are fighting yourself, because you don't want to get close to him, but you have to. I was playing him against all of those other guys, and he's able to smoke even the higher tiers, like Medusa, Yenenga, like no problem. He can smoke them, no problem, because he has other cheats that he can do, like heal, disappearing, no problem. People are not giving this guy enough credits. He's busted if you know how to play him. He's just new, and a lot of people don't know how to. Maybe not new. It's like a year old, but yeah. Yennefer and Triss are aggro, and probably they're probably here, or maybe higher, maybe like this. Their aggro playstyle is crazy. You have a lot of these cards on opponent. 7 value, discard 2 cards to ignore value is powerful because it can get out even to 10 with Yennefer if you will boost it with her ability. You got this Triss 4 value attack is broken because opponent now has to choose between like basically only bad options, and he will be throwing those feints when he will see that Triss is attacking him, so he will waste his feints on Triss, and now she can just bait his attacks. So yeah, and then she will hit him with this 4 value, and he's cooked because now he has to either discard cards, lose cards, or take auto damage. Which is stupid. Then you got the portals. Portals is actually like action gain things, but it's not like you are a combo character, because the cycle of playing Yennefer and Triss is like maneuver, attack, basically every turn. But you are doing some fancy things between. They are losing their cards relatively fast, especially if you're playing Yennefer, but you will most likely play Yennefer if you're playing for winning. So we will lose those cards very like quickly. That's why you have to maneuver, attack, and you have to be very efficient in it because your defenses are actually bad. The only good defense is this 4 value that heals you, and sometimes it's very tempting to use it on offense because yeah, bro, 11 damage. If yeah, but basically all of your cards, their condition is like opponent has to discard card, if not is happening. So he will lose his cards quicker playing against them, and that's very oppressive. I think if they're higher than Robin Hood, but yeah, they're probably higher than Robin Hood. It's very oppressive. And the only thing that is keeping them away from being more like higher in aggro is the fact that they don't have enough card draw. If you will give them a second shot, not second shot, yeah, oh my god, the piercing shot. If you will give piercing shot to Yennefer, she is just busted now, and that's why they are not that high. But their offense, their explode like factor is through the roof, and yeah, this playstyle of maneuver attack is surprisingly very effective, especially if you will put those 1 value portals between this interaction. Yeah, and if opponent will just try to attack you because they want to attack you, and you are very tanky because 14 health plus 8 health sidekick I guess, or 7, I don't remember. Opponent will want to attack you, so he will get close to you, and now you are able to go for this little fun combos, or hitting him with something that discards cards, and hit them with action gain, maybe with another action gain if you are crazy, and then hit them with 7 value that can be bumped up to 9 to 10 or even higher. And they probably don't have cards in hand in this moment, so they will just die because of this big hit. And you have like 3 of those big hits. And that's not even it, because you also have the cards like this 3 value that is coming back to your hand if you win the combat, if you won the combat. So so you can bump up it to even to 6 even, and that's crazy. So yeah, her offense is absolutely busted. They are very good aggro, but also very challenging. Philippa is also very good aggro, and probably the best aggro in the game. Her ability that makes her, getting back all of her hand at the end of your turn, like drawing 4 cards in the end of your turn, is like is giving her the option to just go aggro like all of those other fighters, because she can bump up her whole hand in one turn and be like, I will draw these cards back. So yeah. Philippa's early game is broken. Similar goes to similar like Raptors and Odas. Because in the early game she can just go in and start smacking you so high that and at this moment you probably don't have good defenses. So if Philippa will go first, she can just go in, do owl form, bump up her whole hand, and now you have a problem. And in the end of the turn, she will draw 4 cards. So what we are even talking about? You're basically have a T-Rex ability, but on cracked. And because of this ability, you are the best aggro character in the game, because you can pressure opponent for days with like no conditions. You can just go in and smack them, refill the hand, go in, smack them again. You have a lot of cards that deal pink damage, so it's even better because you deal them this little damage that will eventually add up. You have a lot of auto damage, like this 2 value that goes through blocks, or this 4 value that deals 2 auto damage, so that's wonderful. You have a lot of these cards, I mean not a lot of these cards. The auto damage is basically giving you... The auto damage cards are also connected to discard, because they can discard a card to ignore auto damage. So yeah, you are either discarding their cards or dealing them damage. And that's pretty like bad if you're playing a control hero, and it's very like bonkers if you are playing aggro hero, because discarding cards and dealing auto damage and drawing cards is the best thing for those guys. They're just loving it. And Philippa has it all. The only thing that she doesn't have is the is health, because she will just die so quickly. That's why she's powerful in the early game, but if opponent will survive her if opponent will survive her early game, he is just settled down, and now he can destroy her. So yeah, she's powerful in the early game, one of the best aggro in the early game, but then in the mid game she's still alright, but in the late game she is just dead, because she will just draw her whole deck, and you are not able to play her like control-y, fatigue-y, nothing like that. You just locked in this go in and hit playstyle, like all the time, and then draw 4 cards in the end of turn to keep up the pressure. So yeah, the best aggro in the game. Okay, and then we are going to one of my favorite character in the game, who is Blackbeard, who in my opinion is the OTK, and this OTK is so naughty that it's crazy, and I think where actually he should be, probably here. His OTK is busted, because a lot of people might not even call it an OTK, but this whole playstyle of taking the doubloons from the opponent and just going with this action gain plus take the doubloon, then hit them with action gain 3 card, then you might hit them again with it, but you don't need to, and then you are going maybe with some... You can even go with a yellow card and not with the the one that is stealing the coin, because your yellow card, your another scheme is so powerful that they need to cancel something on it, and they will probably do... You don't even need to get action gain at the beginning of your turn. You can just sit with 3 doubloons and just go action gain with your 3 value card. If they will not cancel it, that's okay. If they will, then that's a shame, but you have 3 copies of it, so you can do it again. And if you will go for this action gain thing, this red card will probably become 5, so that's already good. And then you can go for the 7 value attack, maybe this 5 value attack that does either discard or ping damage depending what opponent will cancel with coins. I'm sorry. You can go with pistols to deal 3 auto damage, which is also very good. I mean, with Blackbeard, you have a lot of this option how you would like to do this OTK. However, the whole OTK relies on one card, and this card, I don't remember the name, but that's the one that let you look at the opponent's hand and discard one of their cards. It's basically do my bidding, but with condition. And if you will do this before your OTK turn, you can set up the little very easily. Like, if you know how to do this, you will just rip out their feint. Basically, all OTK characters relies on the fact that they will just discard opponent feint from the hand. So yeah, that's great. Actually, you know, it's same on all of them. So yeah, you will just discard their feint. You can discard one of their movement card, so they will not run away. Excuse me again. And then you are going for this big OTK with 5 value action gain, then 5 value action gain maybe again. They will not cancel it, they will not run away because you discard their cards. And then you are hitting them with 7 or something. You can do this even 2 or 3 times and they are dead. Very fun OTK. Blackbeard is, in my opinion, tons of fun. And you also have great defense with your Sea Dogs and your blue cards, which will keep you alive until you will get to your OTK things. So that's very nice. Yeah, this character is great OTK, very deadly. If opponent even know how to counter your doublons, you'll probably still get them if you know how to play this guy. He's on the same level as Dracula though, in my opinion, but Blackbeard is overall better in surviving the opponent and just exploiting their weakness in certain times. Dracula is just, focus on the OTK and that's it. And Blackbeard can just he can just survive the whole game and just ping the opponent away with some of his cards and eventually kill the opponent with his big turn lethal. Chupacabra is aggro, and he is probably on this place. The fact that you can just go in, draw card after every attack is very powerful. It's basically like T-Rex and Philippa. So we just go in, attacking, drawing cards, sometimes discarding the cards, using Travelers of the Night to get close to them, attack them 2 times. Yeah, you are just going in and hitting the opponent constantly. You are discarding them cards with ambushes and this yellow scheme that you can injure yourself. If you are lower than 7 health also, your effects are absolutely busted. You can go even for action gains with your 4 value attacks that heals you also. So yeah, very effective aggro and very simple. Yeah. Nothing more to say. He is just good at going in and attacking. And he will not be like having problems with drawing cards, like for example Yennefer. So yeah, pretty good. Loki though. And now guys, I was thinking about this. Where should I place Loki? Because you may say, okay, he can set up OTK with Ragnarok, but in my opinion, that's very unreliable. If you will just go for the Ragnarok lethal, they will just discard the tricks and you are not doing the OTK anymore. He's very good at controlling the game with his, throwing cards into opponent's hands, so you're filling up their hand. I don't think he's fatiguey because you will give opponent cards, so you will give him basically 3 cards and 3 actions, 3 action skips, I mean, but playing his tricks is sometimes, I would say, people may say that it's that the opponent will play these cards, but some of those effects are very naughty, like healing Loki, giving him card back, then he is dealing auto damage to yourself by playing his trick, and discarding the card. Like, playing his tricks is actually not that good, you know. And this is surprising, but if you're playing Loki and you are going for this playstyle of taking the cards from the opponent hand or just spamming their hand with the cards, he is surprisingly tanky, surprisingly controlly, and also can be very like aggro. That's why I believe I would put him in mid-range, and he would be probably like here. Because it's like different reason here for why he's mid-range. Because if you're you see, if before, I'm sorry, because if you see that your opponent has a lot of tricks in his hand, you can just go with all of those cards that allows you to take those cards from their hand and get them back, like to your deck or to your hand. This is like very good. So you're adapting to what you are not managing opponent hand size like those aggro characters. You are managing their trick size in their hand, and if you know what tricks they have, like what they will be doing and all, you can just control them to the level that it's actually crazy. Like, for example, even this red card for value that allows you to switch their defense. You can make them play your tricks, and now you are healing yourself, or you are getting 1 card from your discard pile. This is wonderful. Like, there's a lot of those minor things. Also, a lot of some cards are working with your opponent having a lot of cards in hand, like the shape shifting or whatever the name is, the zero value attack. This is crazy if you will just spam their hand with tricks. Imagine playing OTK against Loki. You will just spam their hand with tricks, and now they can't find their combo because they have too much cards in hand. So we have to play the tricks. And you see, this is the thing. You can just he's a mid-range, but not mid-range. I think he is. They should be like another class, what they ought to call a specialist, which are which works with different mechanics of the game. And I would put Loki and Black Panther there because they are relying on totally different archetypes that we are discussing here. But yeah, Loki is in my opinion mid-range because also you can go for aggro Loki with your 4 value attack trick that draws you cards, so this is very good card, and also it deals auto damage if opponent will play it. You can also with this card that discard opponent's defense, and not discard, but you are choosing with what they will be defending with, so that's very good at aggro playstyle. Same for shape shifting, because shape shifting is like, okay, show me your card. Okay, it's 5 block. So I will get action gain, and you are going again with something. So yeah, Loki is, oh my god. So yeah, Loki in my eyes is very good in mid range, like actually good in mid range. If you want to go aggro, if you want to go for control, he's very versatile. Yeah, I may change this placement in the future, but for now, this is my impression. I played a lot of him, like actually a lot. And Pandora is, my opinion, also a mid-range. Probably higher than Loki, though. Nice, like here. Nice character, by the way. Your box is basically defining what you will be doing, but it's not that impactful. You can say you're going for big hits because your Hera, you know, the free value that can go higher if you are draw more cards from the box. The more cards you draw from the box, the more damage you deal. So yeah, pretty great. So you can do some big hits with it. You can warp to the opponent. You can ignore totally their values. Cacodemons are just like control machines. They can discard the opponent's cards. They can like ping him, so that's awesome. Pandora herself has some strong effects if she will boost with proper cards. She has card draw, she has these cards, she has recursion, she has big values, she has healing, and overall she is something between control and aggro because she has like awesome card draw with Zeus. Zeus is drawing you the whole hand, so that's awesome. Also your box is like very... Yeah, your box is letting you go for this aggressive playstyle where you are placing yourself closer to opponent and you are dealing them auto damage, summoning Cacodemon, going in, smacking them with Hera, drawing cards so you will never run out of fuel. And if you will see that the opponent is like aggroing you down, you can just bunker yourself with Cacodemons somewhere, or maybe even with Alpha Cacodemons, because your defenses are actually good and you also have healing. So yeah, you have a bit of everything, and the only thing is that you are relying on box, but let me tell you that the more you will be playing Pandora, the better you understand how to use this box. So yeah, she can go pretty aggro whenever she wants, and she can go pretty defensive whenever she wants. She's overall very versatile. I think that I should put her actually somewhere like here. Yeah, because her versatility is broken, in my opinion. But yeah, and she should be probably like here when it comes to Ciri, because early game Ciri is like... Okay. Okay, that's it, guys. I will not rank those boys because, as I said, I don't own them yet, but in the future, soon I will be owning those, man, those guys. It will be doing some content about them for sure. But for now, that's it. What can I say? Oh, I don't know, I'm so exhausted. I'm recording all of this in one day, like, and it's probably like 2 hours. So, what can I say? If you watched this whole video, I'm so grateful, and let me know down in the comments what you think about this, because yeah, I might be like biased or less biased towards certain fighters, and with someone like, for example, like I said, Loki or Shakespeare or Wayward Sisters, I am not actually that sure where they should be. If you say that they're control, I agree with you, I can see this. That's the thing with newer fighters, that they are so versatile that Loki might be as well control, not fatigue maybe, but big hits, aggro, yeah, you can, the combo even. That's the problem, it's harder and harder to rank them. While someone like Chupacabra is easy to rank because his playstyle is very straightforward, someone like Blackbeard even is not that easy to classify. And yeah, that's a thing, but I tried my best to like categorize those deck types, relying on my knowledge. Like, I was doing this based on how I played those fighters, how I use them, and everyone plays different. Like, I would be not surprised if someone would even say that Medusa is aggro. You can play her aggressively, yeah. But yeah, guys, thanks you so much for watching. The next video will be probably shorter. I'm thinking of Winter Soldier guide and analyzing because it will be so funny. Also, I'm thinking of the video where I will be comparing two Witcher sets and which is better to get, because in my opinion the Witcher sets are one of the most solid in my eyes. But yeah, that's my opinion. So yeah, that will be all. Thanks so much for watching again, and see you in the next one. Bye!